Hey everyone, Barfield here, and welcome to Writer's... Wait, what? Actually, it's not Writer's Corner today, it's Legendland Manuscript Monday. Seriously? Yeah, we talked about this. Well, apparently today is Legendland Manuscript Monday instead. Yay? Even though this isn't Writer's Corner, I still want to go through my normal updates of what's been happening to me. Now, I think we're doing this Manuscript Monday thing because I've been working on a companion series to Legendland entitled Legendland: Tale of the Nameless God. I've already outlined several chapters and I've written the first two, and so I think I'm going to be talking about that today. And I've also finally got the necessary components for my Wyndon costume for the male version of Windy from Gravity Falls. I'm cutting this wig later, I just wanted to show everyone, but if any of you know how to cut wigs and have tips, please let me know. This has no relevance at all to what's going to be going on in this video, I just felt like sharing. And also, one last thing, don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Now that we've got that over, let's move on to Manuscript Monday. So first off, what is this thing I've been working on? It's called Legendland: Tale of the Nameless God. What is Legendland: Tale of the Nameless God? It's a mouthful, that's what. But it's also a free companion series I'm doing on Wattpad, serialized, a chapter a week. It's based in Legendland towards the end of the first book, but with a whole new cast of characters! It is another action fantasy novel written mostly from the first person, but it has a more urban fantasy feel this time, and it also has a lot more humor in it. So Legendland: Tale of the Nameless God is based on the continent of Island and the city of Malor. And fun fact, the city of Malor is based in the country of Malor. It's kind of like New York, New York. But speaking of New York, the city of Malor is a big, urban, sprawling metropolis, and it's also the most technologically advanced area in Legendland. While places like the Kingdom, where the original Legendland takes place for the most part, is stuck in the medieval ages and has just figured out how to do soap, Malor has learned how to do concrete and is doing budding experiments in things like electricity and radio. Now that I've given you the setting and some other things, you're probably wondering, what about the characters? We either love or hate the characters you created in the original Legendland, Noah, so who are these new people? The main character, the one whose viewpoint you see the most, is Namonai. Namonai is the protagonist, he's the guy on the cover right there, and he's also so much more than that. He's covered in burns, which he hides with the fox mask, and also scars, because he's had a rough life. It's hinted at that he is a god, or some sort of deity, who has steadily grown weaker over his life, and I kind of explain that more in Legendland: Tale of the Nameless God. He wields 2 kusarigama, and he is poor, sarcastic, and has a whole host of questionable morals. He's a lot more fun than most of my other characters, and I think you'll really enjoy him. Also, Namonai isn't his real name, because I like hiding real names behind more ridiculous sounding ones, so you'll get to find that out as you read it, or maybe as I do more Manuscript Monday videos. But there's also Naomi, which is Namonai's landlord. Man, I'm loving the ends in this story. Naomi is a dark kitsune, and kitsune is the Japanese word for fox. Dark kitsune are oftentimes hunted, killed, or stoned, or all of these terrible things by normal kitsune, which are Inari's agents. And Inari's agents are feared throughout Malor because they kind of mean that something bad is about to happen. So Naomi runs the Burnt Rice Tavern, which is just a big FU to Inari since she used to be a rice goddess, and it's pretty seedy. It's cheap though. Naomi is awesome. She's actually one of my favorite characters, and I'm really looking forward to introducing her in the next chapter or two, but she is shrewd, cunning, strategic, she's a great businesswoman, but she just has a problem with bankers and lenders who don't seem to leave her alone. Then you have the 2 main antagonists, or they're probably antagonists, it's a little unclear in the beginning. But there's Midas, the guy who turns things to gold, and you don't want to know what he's had to turn to gold to survive. He's a banker, and he runs the primary mint of Malor, but he doesn't create lots of gold because it would devalue the price of gold, and he likes being able to be wealthy. He's really manipulative and throws his weight around a lot. Honestly, don't like Midas. I don't like outlining him, and he's not all that fun to write, because he just... like, the expression that describes Midas the most is a sneer. He just thinks he's better than everyone, and Like, I get that, but I don't like it. There's also Marinette, who resides in the same mansion as Midas and seems to have the real power in their relationship. She is an alchemist and has ties to a really powerful sorcerer in Legendland over in the kingdom, or a deceased sorcerer, I should say. Marinette is funded by Midas for unknown reasons. Maybe she has dirt on him, maybe she's just that powerful and he doesn't want to mess with her. Who knows? Marinette and Midas send Namonai and his crew that he gathers later on all of their missions, and I'm not sure they're really antagonists at this point. They send him on the major mission that is the objective in the later part of the book, so they're facilitators of plot points, and they definitely don't have his best interests at heart, but they're not trying to kill him per se. So, undecided. Now later in the book, Namonai needs a team, and this is where Icarus comes in. I think Icarus is going to be a fan favorite. I think a lot of people are going to like him. Namonai found him in an abandoned workshop that originally belonged to Daedalus, Icarus's uncle, I believe. Icarus is a teenage boy, and he goes about in a wheelchair. Because you remember whenever Daedalus built him and Icarus wings, and they were flying up, and then Icarus went too close to the sun, and the wings and wax melted. He plummeted and whack! Right into the ocean. Well, most of his bones are pulverized, and the ones that were able to be fixed never started working properly again. His legs he will never be able to use, or so he's told. He's kind, intelligent, and a gifted mechanical genius. He's basically too good for the world. But Icarus isn't the only one that Namonai finds in that abandoned workshop. Accompanying this teenage boy is Isalia, former queen of the Amazons. I'm not gonna lie, Isalia is fun to write. She's tall, muscled, and likes to punch things. A lot. But she's also an effective military strategist, knows how to deal with PTSD, and is a master of many weapons, which she keeps in a magical satchel that she can just pull things out of. So you don't want to mess with her, because she's just going to be able to pull out whatever weapon she has ever encountered and just, boom, battle axe. Also, Isalia has a soft spot for young people and large, fluffy carnivores. Lastly, Namonai meets Wikolia, the Wyvern. Wikolia used to serve the Hawaiian goddess of the dead, Milu, but Milu was eventually replaced, as happens to most beings who rule the underworld, so now Wikolia serves as a Night Stalker, a punisher and guard of the underworld. Night Stalkers are closely related to Gorgons, and the fact that they are reptilian and can use their eyes to freeze people and their souls, which is really handy for making sure that people don't escape, or whenever they're being unruly and need to be dragged in chambers to get punished and tortured. She escaped from the underworld for unknown reasons, and now lives as a thief and mercenary in Malor. Despite this, she has high standards, and is a person of virtues and morality, and dislikes Namonai pretty intensely. So I've talked about the characters, I've talked about the setting, I think that's all. You're forgetting something. What? You're forgetting something. No, I don't think I am. The plot? Oh, right. Under the plot, I guess. Basically, Namonai and crew are hired by Midas and Marinette to break into a secure vault that holds the 3 heavenly regalia, created by the sun goddess Amaterasu. Marinette specifically wants these regalia, and Midas wants them because they're powerful objects. Presumably, they want to use these objects to hurt or kill Amaterasu in some way. And so, for Legendland Tale of the Nameless God, I have a few immediate goals. There are 2 things I want to do. First, I want to keep it from getting too dark too quickly. The second thing I want to do is create a good team relationship between Namonai, Icarus, Isalia, and the Wyvern. So this entire video has basically been me half bragging, half letting you know about something that I'm about to write. Now I want to let you know, full bragging, about something I've already written. My novel, Legendland, this fantastic piece of literature right here, is available on a plethora of places. You can get it on iTunes, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Smashwords, my publisher's website, or my own website, www.arc-storm.com. And if you order it off of there, I'll personally sign it for you. Also on ArcStorm, you can find the first 2 chapters of Legendland available for free! You can also contact me directly if you have questions or advice that you would like that you don't feel like sharing with the rest of the world on my social media. Speaking of which, I have social media. Stalk me online on a variable cornucopia of online locales. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, Wattpad, and YouTube. don't forget to check out Wattpad because Legendland Tale for the Nameless God is coming out every Friday. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my newest upcoming project and that you're just excited for my writings. I'm so excited for people to read something I've written that's related to Legendland, and you can do it for free now! Well, I mean, at least initially, who knows? I hope that you liked this video and that you continue to enjoy it.